Okay, so here's the warm-up. How are we doing on this? Any questions on identifying them or anything I can address for you guys? All right, are we good? Everybody still looking?
I am.
You are? Okay. Any questions? All right. All right, let's get going on the lesson then. All right, so take out the note sheet that you should already, I hope we already have out. And we're gonna actually write some proofs today, okay? So we went over a lot of the rules and a lot of like 2-column proofs yesterday, kind of smaller stuff. Today we're just gonna add a little bit more. Now your homework for tonight, and I tell you guys, is gonna look very similar to this, something like this, where you guys are gonna have to select the best rule. And then just kind of go from there. But make sure you select the best rule before while answering the proofs. Everything else will be given to you. Okay. It'll just be like a drop down menu and it'll have like vertical angles theorem or it'll have, definition congruent, something like that. Hi. Thank you. All right. So, Taekwon, you're being summoned. You're being summoned. Yeah, it says immediately, so I guess I should. Let's not. I'd like you to come back.
I leave it on my phone.
Yeah, you gotta leave your phone. Okay. Taekwon, leave your phone.
Huh?
Leave your phone.
I can grab it?
No. You don't need it.
I think I do.
No, you don't. Put
I
it back.
promise I think I do.
Huh?
I think I do.
Why do you need it?
I don't know. Something happened earlier.
Your what?
Something happened earlier. So I think I need my phone.
Something happened earlier and you think you need your phone?
Yeah.
How about this? I'll let you if he calls me, then I'll let you come grab it, okay? So put it back up there.
All right.
All right. We'll see you soon. All right. So let's take a look at this. So we are given two right angles. So it says C and angle D are right angles. So it says angle C is congruent to angle D. All right. So the first thing I have here is that they are stating that, I don't know why they call it. Oh, sorry. There's a typo here. This should be C. This should be D. Our right angles, that is given to us. So little typo. Just switch those to C and D and it'll be fine. Now, because of that, the measure of angle C and the measure of angle D equal 90. Why is that? Why do these equal 90 degrees? Go ahead. Because they're right angles. So we would just say that this is the definition of right angles. And now because they're each each equal to 90 degrees, that means that the measure of angle C is equal to the measure of angle D. How do we know that? Give it to me in your own words even. I'm fine with that. Measure of angle C is equal to 90, measure of angle D is equal to 90, therefore the two measures are equal to each other. Why? Because they're what? They're congruent. They're both equal to 90. So in this case, what I'm going to state here is this is actually an example of the transitive property. You guys see that pairing right here with the 90? So this is the transitive property. And then because these measures are equal, therefore they are congruent by the definition of congruent angles. All right, anybody, any questions on this one? All right, let's move on then. All right, so again, we're going to complete this proof by filling in the blank. So if we take a look at this, we have angle 1. I'm just going to mark this up. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. And they want us to prove that the measure of angle 6 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 degrees. So I'm going to start with what's given to me, and that is angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. All right. Now that I have that, I see that I'm doing something with the vertical angles theorem, and I have something with the measure of angle 6. So if I look, I'm going to make this congruent with 7. So I'm going to state here that that angle 6 is congruent with angle 7 by the vertical angles theorem, or vertical angles are congruent in this case. Now, if I know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 7 and angle 6 is congruent to angle 7, then I know without a doubt that I have angle 1 would be congruent to angle 6. What's the property there? Go ahead. Transitive property. Nice job. Now, if these angles are congruent, that means what for their measures? Who can tell me that? Bless you. That means what for their measures? Their measures are what? If the angles are congruent, then their measures are not congruent. Begins with an E. What? Equal. Yep. So I'm going to state that the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 6 by the definition of congruent angles. All right, after this, we're saying that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180 degrees. How do I know this? Because angle 1 and angle 2 added up equal 180, but why? Like, what's the reasoning? Begins with an S. They're what? They're supplementary. So this will be by the definition of supplementary angles. Okay. And then last but not least, if we look here, we have the measure of angle 6 equals the measure of angle 2, and that all equals 180. What did I do here? How did I get the measure of angle 6 to replace the measure of angle 1? What property? If I'm not here, who's in my place? Substitute. So it's substitution property. How we doing? Questions on that? Anybody still writing? Sorry, I went up a little quickly. All right, last one. Complete the following 2-column proof. Given angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So again, I'm going to mark that up. Here's angle 1, here's angle 3. We're trying to prove that 2 and 4 are also congruent. So let's start with our given. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. That's given to me. Now, what do we notice here? What else? What other angles can be congruent? 1 and 2. Why? Yeah, vertical angles are congruent. Good job. What else is congruent? We got 1 and 2. What's no? Go ahead. 3 and 4 by the same thing, right? So I'm just going to kind of do this. And that would be by vertical angles are congruent. Okay. Or you could also state vertical angles theorem. Both work. All right. Now, if I look at this, I see that my goal is to get 2 and 4 together. But if I look here, I see that 1 is congruent with 3. So I'm going to take this 1 and I'm going to put it right here with the 3. So I have angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. Why is that? What did I do there? Substitution? Yep, that's 1. What's the other way? Begins with a T. Transitive. Either one works, okay? Because if you ignore what's in blue right here, you can see that the pairing is angle 3. Does that make sense? So either one works. Now, if we look here, I can see I have angle 1 and angle 4. I got to get angle 2 here. And if we look at this in green and this in blue, we see that angle, angle 1 is kind of the pairing, right? So I'm going to take this angle 1, I'm going to replace it with a what? Angle 2, yep. So I get angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. Again, transitive or substitution property, whichever you decide. Okay. Are there any questions I can address? Do you guys kind of understand like what I did there? I couldn't just jump from here to here. I needed this because these were kind of separated, okay? All right, homework for tonight. I'm going to push that up and I want to show it to you guys before I assign it though. So let me pull it up real quick. I want to show you guys what you need to do. All right, so you guys are going to have your intro to proofwriting assignment. Everything is going to be there for you. You need to identify the correct rules. Biggest thing I want you guys to be aware of is this. Do you see that? There are 45 different questions on here because Google Forms does not let me do half points or anything like that. So I'm going to be taking it for 45 points. However, you get the luxury of fixing answers. It's not going to tell you if you're like what the answer is, but it will allow you a chance to edit if you need to. In addition to that, do you think this is due tomorrow?
Yes.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Wow. I must be really mean. It is not due tomorrow. It's going to be due Friday, end of class. Okay? And I am going to give you guys an ed puzzle tomorrow that you can complete tomorrow, Friday, or over the weekend, but something to kind of give you more examples of proofwriting. Okay? So this is not due today, but get started on it in case you have questions. You can bring questions to me tomorrow. Like tomorrow, I'm allowing you guys to just work on this all of class. Okay? Sound good? And then you're going to have an ed puzzle at least for Friday in addition to this. Oh, man. Shucks, Smith, you're so mean. All right. All right, so I'm going to get this up and running. Any questions, though, before I do? All right. Let me assign it. Those of you watching at home, have a great day.